My name is Neil Arnett. I am Director of Technology at Pikeville Independent Schools. In around 2018, myself and one of our science teachers here at Pikeville Independent Schools, we were invited on a trip to South Fayette School District, which is a suburb of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And that school district had really revolutionized the way that they did education about 10 years earlier than that. So, in the early 2000s, they had started kind of changing, and they really focused around STEM and having students solve problems and student entrepreneurship.
So this year I did Blueprints for the Mountains, designing a business for Eastern Kentucky's future.
We were invited to go there and see what they were doing. And we really learned that it was very similar with the collapse of the steel industry in Pittsburgh. There was, students were changing, the demographics were changing, and then now Pittsburgh has really morphed into a Silicon Valley of the East Coast. Really, it's a very high-tech area that now that the steel industry has been replaced. And it was really remarkable to see what they were doing there in a very similar program to what we're doing now, and they really were the model that we've been working on since 2018 to create those opportunities here in our school as well.
BitSource has been involved in educational initiatives almost since its inception, because so many people thought BitSource was a school. They're teaching former coal miners to code, and so it got a lot of interest. And as a result of the attention BitSource got, we had people reaching out from schools in Pittsburgh wanting to connect with BitSource and learn, how are you doing this? And as a result of that, we formed partnerships that has led to us being awarded National Science Foundation grants that have allowed us to go into the schools in Floyd and Pikeville Independent School Districts and teach computational thinking and computer science in such a way that we started with kindergarten through 5th grade, and now we have moved into middle school. It's really exciting to know that those foundational skills are being laid so that we can build upon it. Now, when a student gets to high school and takes a computer science class, we feel like they're much more prepared than they would have been 6 years ago.
Digital Promise is a nonprofit education organization that accelerates the future of learning. And that means a lot of different things. We do professional development, we do research, we work in partnership with across different sectors, actually, with educators, with communities, with ed tech companies and researchers. And we are often in the intersection of those groups trying to make good things happen for education.
Our goal is to support teachers and administrators as they are advancing more equitable education systems and improving educational opportunities and learning experiences for all students who are in our schools. So as technology has become a bigger and bigger part of education, we see technology and educational technology growing within schools. Right now, we're especially seeing a lot of focus on artificial intelligence and AI literacy, how we can support students to live and thrive within a technological world. And so what we're doing here in Eastern Kentucky is really unique because we're not only talking about the technology that students are encountering, but we're talking about how students can be problem solvers with that technology and add those new computational thinking and technological skills to the problem solving toolkit that they already have. Appalachian ingenuity is a huge part of the region and the heritage that the students inherit from their families and from their experiences here. And that already gives them a problem-solving toolkit. So by being able to add these technological and computational skills to that toolkit, they're able to solve more and different problems and solve problems differently while relying on those skills that are so core to their heritage and to the area. I first had the pleasure of working with Digital Promise when I attended a virtual summer institute in the summer of 2020, and I went through a data science session. And at that time, I taught 6th grade science. I learned so much about how to integrate data practices into my curriculum and how good it was for students. The more I started using some of the things that I learned, the more it started to transform my teaching practice. In the meantime, a lot of the colleagues in my building also went to these trainings and were starting to integrate a lot of computational thinking into their classrooms. And it would be different subject areas. It might be in a language arts class or a science class or social studies. From this work, I've seen a lot more collaboration between different teachers and coaches and admin, and really just trying to transform the way we teach.
What we're doing, it started initially as just computer science in schools, but it was only a 3-year grant, I think, and when that grant ended, we had enjoyed it and we saw so much benefit to our students that we decided we needed to do another grant. But this year is about, well, these last 3 years is about drawing on kinship, and that is preserving Appalachian heritage, because kids don't know the old ways of doing things like weaving, canning, farming, that kind of thing, but also weaving that into our content and to give kids a problem. So it's problem-based learning, and that for us creates that vibrant experience. So we try to get our communities involved. We try to do something that we look for a problem, and then how we will solve this problem, and then we go out and recruit people from the community, and kind of pull all that together for the kids. And I think it makes their learning more meaningful.
Yeah, we've seen, we've had amazing progress as far as we really started with our early grades. Back in 2019, our first grant with the National Science Foundation and Digital Promise really focused on mapping out where in our curriculum that we were already having students solve problems, and where were the opportunities that they could solve other problems and use things like computational thinking. And then we started giving them opportunities through STEAM Night and STLP. And that really started to take off. And as they were going into our high school, Pikeville High School now has one of the best engineering programs and pathways in the region. And a lot of those students that we had in those early grades are now graduating from Pikeville High School through those engineering programs. And a lot of them are the students that are going into that now. And there's a huge demand at our high school for the engineering pathway, for our computer science pathway. And so we've really seen students go from not wanting to tackle hard challenges and hard questions. Now they're eager to tackle those things and to, look at problems that they can solve and look for solutions and use technology and bring all of their learning together.
I don't know if a greater power was telling me to do something new, but it definitely got this old brain in gear to do something different, because this brought our class together. It changed the rest of the year for us. So I cannot tell you how much it meant to me because of that.